we're going to take a deep dive into the exciting and sometimes complex world of pre-sale condo buying in beautiful British Columbia. Now, I'm Jeff Chadha with Century 21. I'll be your guide today. Now, whether you're a first-time buyer, a seasoned investor, or just curious about the real estate market, you're in the right place. We're going to break down everything you need to know about pre-sale condo buying so you can make a well-informed decision. Now, the importance of understanding this topic. Real estate is one of the most significant investments you'll ever make. Understanding the nuances of pre-sale condos can make a huge difference in your financial planning and overall satisfaction with your purchase. Now, we're going to cover the benefits that can potentially lead to great returns and the risks that could impact your investment. The goal here is to give you a comprehensive view on buying and navigating a whole process of buying a pre-sale condo, because there's pros and there's cons. So let's start here with the pros of buying a condo. So, potential for appreciation. Market growth. Now, let's kick things off by discussing the potential for appreciation. Now, buying a pre-sale condo means you're purchasing at today's market value, but the property might not be ready for a couple of years. If the real estate market continues to grow, as we've seen, your condo value could increase significantly by the time you get the keys. In hot markets like Vancouver and now even Surrey, we've seen substantial growth over the years. Now, examples and statistics, for example, in 2010, the average price per square foot in Vancouver was, I think, about $500. Today, it's well over $1,000. That's a 100% increase. That's easy math, but imagine locking a condo in at 2010 prices and seeing your investment double by that time when it's built. Well, past performance doesn't really guarantee anything, but the historical trends have been very strong. So that is a very strong indicator that there is chances that the property could grow in value. Now, another pro is customization options. One of the most exciting aspects of buying a pre-sale condo is the ability to personalize your space. As an early buyer, you often get to choose from various finishings, fixtures, and sometimes even the floor plan, believe it or not. I know a lot of people out there saying floor plan is already built, it's already set. In most cases, it's rare, but it can happen. Sometimes if depending on the development and depending on the pre-sale, could sometimes alter, all right, which is kind of nice. So this means that you can design your home to match your needs the way you like it. Now, examples of customization. You might have the option to select between hardwood flooring and carpets. Choose your kitchen cabinets and countertops. Pick your bathroom fixtures. Some developers often offer upgrade packages that include high-end finishings, additional features like smart home technology. Also, sometimes just different kind of appliances like air conditioner units and all those kind of things. So those are really nice add-ons. The level of customization isn't typically available with resale properties, allowing you to create that space is more truly yours, right? So it's always great to take advantage of the customization. Now, another factor here is the modern amenities and the new property benefits. So the latest technologies is what usually comes when you're buying a pre-sale condo. For that time, pre-sale condos are often equipped with the latest technologies. I'm not going to buy something and then not have the latest technology, right? So they're equipped with the latest technology and amenities, from energy-saving appliances to smart home systems. These features can enhance your living experience and even help reduce utility costs. Many new buildings offer state-of-the-art amenities such as fitness centers, swimming pools, rooftop gardens, and community lounges, providing luxury experience. And some actually even have places that are very pet-friendly. So it's good to look out for those aspects. Now, you also have warranty protection. Now, a lot of people often don't understand the warranty aspect and how big that plays. Right, so warranty. So new condos in BC come with something called the 2-5-10 warranty. 2 years on labor and materials, 5 years on the building envelope, and 10 years on the structure. Now, that might sound like kind of gibberish, but once you do a deep dive into it, those things can be very, very, very important. These warranties provide peace of mind and financial protection against certain defects. For example, if there's an issue with the plumbing or electrical system, or even with the building structure, you're covered for repairs, which you can save yourself a lot of money. But if you fall within those timelines. So it's really important to understand the warranty. So it's a big, big aspect there. So another positive or pro is staggered payment structure. So financial management. Another advantage is the staggered payments when you're buying it. So instead of paying the full amount up front, payments are spread out during sometimes the construction period. This usually starts with an initial deposit, followed by additional payments at set intervals. So this staggered payment schedule makes it much easier to manage your finances and plan for the future. So you might not be ready today to complete for whatever reason. You're getting a job or you're expecting a huge raise, whatever that reason may be, you have the cash on hand today. That will be able to lock you down later on. So technically, you may not need to get fully approved today. Now, an example of payment scheduling. Typically, some developments are different, but you pay about 10% at signing, and then another could be 5% 6 months later. And then the final 5%, usually about a year end, or sometimes it could be 6 months before closing. It all depends. Every development has different packages type of thing, or scheduling. But this spread out scheduling allows you to plan and save accordingly, reducing the financial burden compared to making a big single lump sum payment, which in this market nowadays might be a little bit tricky. So this staggered approach can be particularly beneficial for first-time home buyers who need time to save the funds, put everything together, plan. On our channel, on the BC Real Estate Podcast, we often say the word real estate is all about planning. So plan. Very important, right? Now, next portion here is, we talked about the pros. Let's talk about the cons. So market risk, right? Market's uncertain. You never know what's going to happen 3 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, let alone 3 or 4 years. You never know. So let's flip the script a bit and discuss the cons, starting with market risk. The real estate market can be unpredictable. An economic downturn or changes in the housing market can lead to a decline in property values. If the market dips, your condo might not be worth as much as you thought it was by the time it's going to be completed. So this is a big risk that everybody needs to consider. I know earlier on we just said that the value usually increases. Yes, typically it does increase. That's historically what has happened. Doesn't mean it's 100% foolproof. Sometimes these things happen depending on the market, depending on the year, politicians. So many factors can come into play, right? So just because your cousin or your friend or your uncle or your brother bought one and they made great money on pre-sales doesn't often mean that you are 100% going to get that too. So just be careful that there are risks involved. Now, let's give an example. 2008, big financial crisis, property values in the markets were dropped significantly. Even steady markets like Vancouver, external economic factors can play a huge problem, and it can cause huge fluctuations. Understanding the risk is crucial, especially if you're relying on the property to appreciate to achieve your goals. So if you're planning to buy this in the hopes to sell it when it's complete, or maybe flip it is what they call it, before it completes, that's another risk because there's no guarantee. And if you're relying on the property to raise in value and go up, there's no guarantee. And we always tell people that you shouldn't buy something unless you're willing to complete on it. It's a gamble. It's a risk. As simple as that. When you go to the lottery store and you buy a ticket, are you guaranteed to win? No. There's a reason why they're $1, $2, $5, $20. I haven't seen those ones that are 100,000, but I'm sure they're out there somewhere, right? But now, let's go into the other factor, which is construction delays. Now, this is a big one. So common causes of delays. Construction delays are another potential downturn. Factors like weather conditions, labor shortages, supply chains issues can push back the completion dates. This can be frustrating. If you're planning to move in by a certain date, this can be a huge issue. Delays can also lead to additional cost. If you extend You may have to extend your current living scenario. Now, let me give you a quick example here. For example, a condo project in downtown Vancouver faced a year-long delay due to unforeseen permit issues with contractor disputes. Buyers had to adjust their plans just to move into it. They had no choice. In another case, severe winter weathers halted construction for several months on another project, pushing back the project's completion date. So these delays cause significant inconvenience and additional cost. So now, when you're buying a pre-sale condo, you really need to understand those contracts because there's something in there called outside dates. And if you don't understand what outside dates mean, you should have your realtor explain it to you or just give me a call. Basically, to sum up what outside dates are, let's say your estimated completion date is July 2026. Now, you're excited. You feel that you're going to move into your place by this time. You've given notice, but now you get a email from the developer saying that, there has been delays due to construction, due to this, yada, yada, yada. And we are now going to push the completion date by another 5 months, 6 months. I've seen up to a year. This is already in the contract, so you can't really fight it. You can't say anything about it because it's already there. But most people don't see it. So please have your agent or have me, right? Or give me a call and we'll go over what this means. Change in plans and developer risk. Another con. So I know we talked about customization of the way it's going to look and everything. And when you buy them, it looks really nice to have something like this, but developers might make changes to the project affecting your unit size, the layout, and even the amenities. Changes can be disappointing if you're set on specific features. In some cases, financial difficulties might lead to project delays or even cancellations. So it's important to be aware of these risks and have a contingency plan. So, for example, there was a condo that was sold and the client loved the fact that they had a built-in fireplace. It was electrical, but still it was built in and they loved that feature. Absolutely couldn't see that room without it. What happened? Well, the developer said it wasn't feasible and took it out. On the day of completion, when they came in there, it wasn't there. They're like, well, can we do something about that? Unfortunately, no. You have to read that contract. So is that a con? Yeah, it is. Could it have been a con if you read the whole contract and understood it? Maybe not, because you would have understood it, right? But because you didn't, these things can happen, and they often do. It's not really talked about. No one's going to talk about, oh, I bought a beautiful condo and they took my fireplace out. No one's really going to say that. They're going to brag about things. And I know we talked about financing just a little while ago. Also is a con too, because the market's uncertain and so is financing. It can raise by the time your condo is ready, monthly payment. Your financial situation could change if your ability to secure a loan. You may get, hopefully not, you could get fired, you could have lost a job, you could have got it demoted, don't know. The mortgage approval you had, if you didn't go with a bank or a mortgage person that told you everything, that this rate will be locked for your whole pre-sale, and you thought it was, well, what could happen is that your rate would not be locked for the whole time that you were going to buy. So it was only locked for maybe a certain period of time, but your unit isn't ready till 3 years from now. So now when you're ready to go get your mortgage, you have to reapply again, and the rate that you thought you were going to have, let's say you thought you were going to get 3%, well, now today's rate, you're probably going to get 6%. Big change, because you didn't plan that. So once again, we went back to planning. Planning, it's important. Always wise to get pre-approved for a mortgage and consult with a financial advisor to understand potential impacts and prepare for scenarios. So having a pre-approval gives you a clear picture and you can budget and provide some security. But remember that interest rate can still change by the time your final mortgage is needed. So it's also beneficial to maintain good financial health, keeping your credit score high, because yes, you put your deposit down now. You stop making credit card payments, you're in collections, I don't know, you screwed up somewhere, it happens in life, but that could have a problem when you go to secure your loan. So make sure you have financial status and your health very, very clean by the time you go to close. Next one is, additional considerations. Well, let's talk about GST and other costs. So, new condos in BC are subject to GST, which can add a hefty amount to your purchase price. For instance, a $500,000 condo, you might pay additional $25,000 in taxes. Kind of hurts, right? It's crucial to factor this in on your budget. There's also property transfer tax and all these kind of things. So really understand how tax affects your purchase. It's a very, very, I can't even say it how many times, but so important, right? Because these are factors that will play. Especially if you're a first-time home buyer, you really need to understand the whole process, how these things work. Some people don't. And it's very sad that go with sometimes straight with the developer's agent and they don't get the explanation, or they go with an inexperienced agent who often don't do pre-sale condos. And they may have just got their license, which is okay if you just get your license, but they need to understand or explain to you how this works and how that works, right? So that's very important. The thing here is the immediate use, potential issues. So delay in occupancy. So since the condo isn't ready immediately, you kind of just dirt there. You're not going to be able to live in it or rent it out until the construction is complete. Obvious, right? I mean, dirt, where are you going to live? You can't park a tent there and just live there. So this means no instant return on your investment. So if you're counting on rental income, a delay might impact you. So it's common sense. I mean, it is dirt. Where are you going to live? There's an estimated completion date for a reason. So you got to wait it out. But potential issues during construction, talked about before, it's also a game changer. Zoning laws can change, regulations, construction standards, environmental concerns, delay a project. Economic factors like inflation can increase material cost, leading to delays and higher cost. And now also, developers also have a right that if they have given more cost on their construction, that they can potentially pass on that cost to you even after you signed. So once again, planning, understanding, all these things work. Call an agent, call me, and help guide you through that. So let's give a little example here. Imagine you planned to rent out your pre-sale condo to cover your mortgage cost. So, but due to construction delays, you're stuck finding alternative financing or bearing the mortgage payments longer than expected. Things can happen, right? Another scenario, local government changes regulations mid-project, causing unforeseen delays in cost. These issues highlight the importance of having a contingency plan and a buffer in your budget. Now, there is something that happened here in British Columbia where a lot of people who bought pre-sale condos, especially Vancouver, we got World Cup and all these things coming here, Taylor Swift and all that kind of stuff, right? People bought pre-sale condos hoping to be completed on that time, but they're also hoping to Airbnb them out, short-term rentals. No more. You cannot do short-term rentals in these condos anymore unless primary unit and you're renting out one room. So that's a huge change, and so that's a regulatory change that caused that's going to cause a problem. So now a lot of these buyers who bought these, they're like they pay out, but they're not going to be able to get out of the contract because of that, right? So that's something really, really you need to remember. So let's just, some key points here, right? So in summary, buying a pre-sale condo in BC offers several advantages, such as potential appreciation, customization options, modern amenities, staggered payment structures. However, it does come with risk, including the market. You don't know what's going to happen 2 years from now. It can go up, it can go down, construction delays, change in plans, financial uncertainties. We also touched on additional cost, the implications of delays. So those are some really key points to understand. So it's always important to weigh these pros and cons carefully and consider how they align with your personal circumstances and your financial goals. Each buyer's situation is unique, and what works for one person might not work for the other. So take your time, do your research, plan it out carefully, and seek advice from a professional. In other words, me, right? Give me a call and then we'll be able to figure out what we need to do and how we need to do it. But it's important that you talk to a professional. Buying a pre-sale condo is not the way that it was before. And when I mean rules and regulations change, time, construction changes, life changes, right? That will impact your buy, the ability to sell. There's been times when a developer couldn't complete the project. Now you're stuck. There's a lot of factors that can happen. So you know what the pros and cons are for buying. I am going to stick this in your head here that it is very important that if you're planning to buy a pre-sale condo, it's very risky if you automatically assume that I'm going to buy this and I'm going to make $50,000 or it's going to go up 100%. Nothing's 100%. Nothing. It's some people think that real estate is 100%. I'm going to buy this and it's going to go up by this. No, right? And if you think that, you really need to get a reality check, right? Because that is not the case. People have lost a lot of money, right? People have made money, And it's a timing thing. I know some people that bought 5 or 6 condos, pre-sales, and in the hopes of, okay, well, I'm going to dish these off and flip these and we're going to make a lot of money. Market dropped. People were not having it. And they had to basically lose their deposit. So they lost out on, I think it was 5 or 6, I forgot how many it is, but they're almost paying 20% per each one of them, right? So, let's say they were paying 50,000 for each. 300K, boom, gone. Sucks, right? That person automatically assumed that it would automatically go up and there's nothing wrong with it and they're good to go. Could have called me, right? But that person might have got advice from a friend who happens to be a car mechanic or happens to be a janitor, I don't know, and told that, okay, well, this much I made, you should do it too. Well, where's that person now? Where's that friend now that you now lost 50, 60, 80, $100,000 on your pre-sale? They're going to say, oh yeah, that sucks. Sorry. I don't know if I can take you for dinner. And you'd be lucky if you get dinner, right? Because they're probably in their condo making money and they're probably out to dinner with their friends, but now you're stuck. Don't listen to someone who's not a professional in the industry. I can't stress that enough. I can't believe how many people will listen to their friend who has nothing to do in the real estate industry and might have bought a home or two and automatically proclaim that they're a real estate investor. I changed my tire once, and that doesn't make me a car mechanic. A bandage on my arm doesn't make me a surgeon, right? So it's funny and times, but also very scary that just because you dabbled in this field does not make you a professional. Kind of common sense, right? So with that being said, thank you all for joining today. So for those that have additional questions or need some more professional advice, give me a call or log on to the channel, type a question there, contact information, and we'll be happy to reach out to you. So once again, my name is Jeff Chatter from Century 21. Happy house hunting or, happy learning. But we'll talk to you soon.